Chicago. It is, to quote a great man, my kind of town. I toured with the Chicago Theater Company very early in my career.
Hey, are you an actor?
An experience that changed me forever. Actors here can do everything. Comedy, drama, musical theater, all with an unmatched sense of collaboration and generosity. This makes Chicago a kind of creative and spiritual home to me. And I will never pass up a chance to make a pilgrimage.
I feel like you just delivered a sermon on this Sunday over pizza.
I'm Colman Domingo. I'm an actor, director, and playwright.
And thank you so much.
You are here with me in Chicago.
This is all of American history right here.
As I embark on a journey back to early days of my career. I'll take to the stage and fly into the air.
Now, how do I get down?
While I rediscover my roots of my craft and what made me the artist that I am today. New York, you know I love you. In LA, you're fabulous. But for artists like me, this second city is second to none. With its urban canyons and soaring towers, you could feel small in Chicago. But any actor here will tell you it's a cozy and communal town. I'll never stop being grateful to where I am as an actor, but I miss the spirit of the early days of my career, when I was first discovering my craft. Improv, as we know it, was created right here in Chicago. If you're a comedy fan, it's a safe bet that comedians who make you laugh the most trained at one of the city's many improv schools like this one. At this point in my career, I'm used to big-budget TV and films. I even shot one here in Chicago. But with big budgets come high stakes with little room to take chances. So when I was invited to share the stage with a local improv troupe, I jumped at the chance to rediscover that playfulness that improv allows.
I'm very impressed with what you guys do. What are your backgrounds when it comes to improv, theater? What is it? How did you get here?
Being able to, like, tell stories is just a weird thing that I enjoy. I mean, I can't describe no other kind of, like, drug or joy or just experience of, like, creating a story in real time. You even get that, like, with improv, like, take the script out of it, and it can go anywhere we want it to go, and we're not limited by, like, the law or gravity or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't tell, show. Don't think, listen, react. Staying in the moment is hard until you just let go and trust yourself and your partners.
Go for it.
Hey, buddy, you did not return my Tupperware, okay?
You know why? Because you didn't deserve it.
Okay, Clarence, don't love the tone considering I'm your boss.
Nice. Switch sides. Colman, come over here to this side, yeah.
With improv, though, you get to be the actor and the director and a playwright, and you're like 100% a theater artist in one spontaneous moment.
Are you all multi-hyphenates in that way? Do you write and direct and produce?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do it all.
And you don't have to wait around for that one audition.
Say it to the people in the back. Because
I don't have to wait around, Coleman.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to wait around.
Yeah.
You know, when the phone wasn't ringing, and it wasn't ringing for a very long time, what was I doing? I was writing plays.
Yes.
I was creating the work. Because I think that's the only way we can have power in this. And I don't know, that feels great.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This is mom's side, and that's dad's side.
Are we not going to be close anymore? Are you choosing sides?
I just figured we try to do this civil, like Ma and Dad.
But they can't break us up. Okay?
Very nice. Very nice.
Jeez. Hey, are you an actor?
So why Chicago?
You know, anything that in the world that you want to do, you can do in Chicago, you know, and you can do it on your terms. Everyone here is multi-hyphenates because you can do it all here. If you're like, I want to like, you know, do a live show around town, do an open mic, film, make a movie, you can just do it. You don't have
You
to
can find people who want to be a part of it. And, right?
And everyone just has this energy that's like, we just want to make stuff. Like, we're just so passionate about it.
You can't do this alone. I feel like I built more of my community today, just in our improv. I'm like, great. All these wonderful, talented artists that I'm now meeting here in Chicago. And I feel like, you know, you take them with you, and hopefully you take me with you as well.
That's it.
We did it.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
That was fun. That was fun. Thank you, guys. That was so fun.
Yeah, cool.
Wow.
That was great. Not as scary as it seems.
No.
In my work, I value roles that allow me to push boundaries, to challenge myself and the audience when it comes to important issues like systemic racism and black trauma. In the horror film Candyman, I played a former tenant of the storied Cabrini-Green housing project. On this sprawling lot stood a high-rise complex that was home to thousands, until the city demolished the towers, forcing out residents from the only home and community many had ever known. Truly, a horror story. This is journalist Ben Austin. He's made chronicling the story of Cabrini-Green his mission.
Let's see. It's cold out here.
Yeah, man.
Chicago wind. I wanted to take a deeper dive with you about the history of like Cabrini-Green, but also how it relates to Candyman. I came and shot this movie all around here.
It was the most infamous public housing complex in the most valuable real estate, and they fought their asses off not to be displaced. They were the last public housing high-rise development to be torn down. I mean, there were like 15, 20,000 people living here on 70 acres. And as a kind of experiment of government housing, it was messed up in a lot of ways.
In what way?
You know, the buildings weren't maintained. You can think about that concentration of poverty being problematic.
Yeah.
But it was so needed, the housing. Look at all this stuff.
Is this just a big park?
Anywhere you see a blank space, there was a public housing high-rise there. There were 23 towers here. They would build these towers surrounded by parks, no through streets, and it was meant to sort of give them open space, but really what happened is separate.
No, lock them in.
Yeah. So and just completely separated. Yeah.
Look at the gentrification that's happening
Yeah, I mean,
here.
so I mean, one thing that film, the second Candyman, did so well is about gentrification. You know, these row houses have been closed for decades, and all around it, look at this, you know, gleaming glass towers.
The Gold Coast, right?
Oh yeah, man.
Chicago's Gold Coast, one of the most affluent neighborhoods in the country, is only a few minutes' walk from Cabrini-Green, an area the city set aside for public housing.
And so the people who lived in the suburbs wanted to come back and reclaim.
That's the story of the first Candyman in 1992.
Yeah.
Like the reason that public housing was a horror movie in 1992 and not in, say, 1982 is because there were a lot of white people living around it because they were like having proximity to it.
Yeah.
That's much scarier. And, you know, and then the movie that you did in just 2 years ago,
Yeah.
It's like what happened, you know, 20, 30 years later.
My character in particular, he was an old resident who was still here living on the outskirts, who was still very concerned about making sure that if you want this, you got to have all of this.
This is all of American history right here. This is inner city America. You could tell any story from this vantage point.
The other thing, that's why people are constantly like wrestling with it, because it tells so much of who we are and the shortcomings.
Isolation, neglect, broken promises. That's the story of Cabrini-Green. But there was more to life here than just pain. There was friendship, there was joy, and so much love, too. As storytellers, I think it's vital that we explore all sides of the story. No one knows that more than Tiffany Walden, and editor-in-chief of the digital media platform, The Tribe, whose goal is, in their words, to reshape the narrative of Black Chicago.
Cheers.
Yes.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. So many people say, oh, you know, I'm afraid to go to Chicago. As soon as I get off the plane, I hear something's going to happen to me when I come to Chicago. You can watch the news every night at 9 p.m. And my mom, born and raised in Chicago, is scared of Chicago because she watches the news every single night. And that was never really my experience. You know, I grew up on the west side in North Lawndale, and I really enjoyed my childhood, my neighborhood. It really shaped me into who I am today.
I feel like you are to Chicago like I am to Philly. I grew up in the inner city, and I know I didn't grow up in, like, you know, gang banging and all that stuff. All that stuff people think it is. I'm like, no, you come to West Philly, people are regular folks. People are educated. People are hardworking citizens and human beings.
So much of the crime narrative, people, especially in Hollywood, they want to make films and TV that perpetuate these narratives about crime and about violence. They know it's a population of people that watch the news every night that will watch these shows because it perpetuates what they see on the news every day.
I know for sure, especially now that I've been doing this work for like 32 years, that I do have some criteria for the roles of the stories that I want to tell. I'm not opposed to playing a pimp or a drug dealer, just the most complex version of it. And somebody who actually has humanity, and maybe that's being challenged. Like, I did this film, Zola. Terrible pimp, horrible person. But I want to make him human, but to make sure that it's a full person instead of a trope.
And thank you for that work.
You notice that there used to be that same narrative about Harlem, and now it's not? You go down 125th Street, and there's all these major retailers up there now, and rents are high and all that stuff.
It's intentional.
Somehow it's been rebranded.
And now the job is done.
Yeah.
So those people that were trying to move people out of the area, displace people, and now the job is done.
And
We
moved
can do
them
something
out,
else. Yep.
and then, because it's a prime location, and then they moved right in and took it over.
Yep, so now they're doing it in Brooklyn. Everybody else had an idea of what Brooklyn was. The only person that was celebrating Brooklyn was Spike Lee. So every time the media succeeds, people are displaced, that history is erased, the mission is done, now we can tell nice stories. You know,
You
people...
just drilled down to it.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was going to be fed tonight. I didn't know how much I was going to be fed. Thank you, Tiffany.
No, thank you.
I appreciate you. Can I toast you?
Yes.
And all that you do? And thank you so much for, you know, I like to go to a city that I want to rediscover and make a new friend. And I think I have one of you.
Yes, thank you.
You know, you got me.
Yes.
I'm your cousin from Philly.
I love that. Thank you.
I never give up the chance to revisit my roots as an artist. One of my first and most essential roles was that of a circus performer. Yeah, you heard me right. I learned how to juggle, walk on stilts, and most importantly, lead with my heart when I'm performing. That's a skill that I carry with me to this day, to be open-hearted. But it's been several decades since I even attempted any aerial work. I'm brushing up on my circus skills at the Actors Gymnasium with teacher Amanda Crockett.
Oh, wow, that's bravo, 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 teacher, bravo.
So let's warm up.
All right.
Things are feeling, well, a little creaky.
Come on, everybody, get warming. We're just warming up.
Oh, God.
Is somebody counting?
10.
Yeah, good.
As a touring clown, I learned to roll with mistakes. That's where some of the best comedy is found. But in the air, let me tell you something. Precision is key.
So, from here,
Then hanging.
holding the elbows, keep your head between your arms, and come forward and back. And then it can get bigger and bigger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, so I'm gonna get you up sitting.
Okay.
You're gonna start bringing your legs under the bar. You're gonna bring them over the top. But now, you're just gonna climb up to a sit.
I heard it.
So you're gonna get up here and let go of an arm, let go of an arm. Yeah. But it's not a
Yes,
joke.
I'm like, what am I doing? Okay, yes. Let's see. Oh. All right, here we go. All right, remember, this is gonna look great in the cut.
Yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. Now think about letting yourself swing back so the rock can happen. Yep, good. Take one swing and up and grab the ropes. Beautiful. Yes, yes, and shimmy, shimmy.
Yeah, nice.
There you go. So think about sending energy down through your toes. Yes, yes, this is you. This is you.
All right, balance.
Feel the bar underneath you.
It's good core work.
Yes. Let's move with it. There you go.
Oh, cool.
See, nothing to worry about.
Woo. How do I get down?
Nice. Yay!
Thank you.
That was so much fun and more than a little scary. When going all in on the things I love, that's my favorite combination. Every visit to Chicago is an important opportunity to revisit my craft, to build on skills and learn new ones. I'm always learning something. It helps that one of my favorite mentors, theater and opera director Mary Zimmerman, is here. She hired me for my very first regional theater gig, a play based out of Chicago. Since then, I've met very few who can rival her imaginative and expansive talent. She also makes me laugh a lot.
I'm sure anyone watching this is like, who's this woman that he's talking to from Chicago?
We sit down for what else? Chicago's pride. I'm always happy to dive right into the deep end of a deep dish pizza when I'm in this city.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're quite petite, aren't they?
These are the diet portions. They were just watching our figure today, Mary. So.
But they are deep dish, for sure.
You know, I guess part of my own personal journey as we sit here is also just like reminding myself, what has made me want to do what I do?
And what is it? What is it for you?
It's to be able to show a reflection of who we are. I do feel like it's a service. I feel I'm trying to help people.
Yes,
And so
it is a service, but I always don't want to get too puffed up about that because it's also a profound pleasure.
Yes,
right?
it is. Yes.
It's not called a play for nothing. It's not an accident. It's the same word. And you know, I do have this sort of primal scene of theater. I was 5, and there was a little woods behind our house. Every summer they staged Midsummer Night's Dream in there in a clearing. And I used to spend all my time in those woods. It was a different era. Like, my parents didn't even know where I was. I was just always off in the woods.
Right.
And I came across the rehearsal. It was the argument between the fairy king and queen. And there was some music, and he ran in these circles with this fairy retinue. And everyone broke up and was laughing and laughing. And I'd never seen adults behave that way and laugh like that. It just collaborative and elaborate playing.
That was fun. That was fun. The idea of like being in a space to just play and to be silly and to fall down, I don't remember allowing myself to have that spirit of play in a while.
Because on movie sets, the stakes are so high, or on TV, the money is so huge and all of that, and the time is so short, the
Yeah, you want to
pressure.
make your day, but I always try to sneak in a little joke, a little prank here and there. I have to.
Because I do think that all theater is devotional. I do believe that. It just takes a lot of devotion and attention and love to replicate this world, which is so intricate and complicated and detailed, right? All of that rehearsal, we're trying to get closer and closer and closer just to what is, just to the naturalness of the world, which it accomplishes without thought. It takes us all that time to kind of get through our layers of self-consciousness and how we think we should be in this and that, just to be as graceful and beautiful as people are.
Oh, wow.
Or it's interesting, or violent, or whatever it is.
Mary, this feels like a sermon. I feel like you just delivered a sermon on this Sunday. I really did, over pizza and a salad. I feel like, because that's because that's the stuff that you want to keep you going. Thank you, Mary. I feel wonderful. I could talk to Mary all day long.
Let's get another pizza.
What a true thrill it is to have a teacher and friend like Mary. She embodies everything I love about Chicago theater. The thoughtfulness, the fun, the collaborative spirit. Theater's not supposed to be about you or me. It's all about us. It's about community. Nobody being sidelined or forgotten. I always leave Chicago feeling a bit optimistic. That no matter how hard times can get, there are plenty of good people who recognize that we are a we. And that for us to thrive, we need to all make strides together.